Hi, it's Eva Cartman, and you're listening to the Dream Big Podcast Show, the place to go to learn, laugh, and grow. Today we welcome Simon Sinek, who's going to share the importance of starting with why. Why, you might ask? Well, let's find out. This is episode 91, Big Dreamers, and it is time to dream big.
Welcome to the Dream Big Podcast Show. We're inspiring you to shoot for the moon, take aim and go. We bring to you amazing guests who truly love what they do. Every day they're living their dreams, and so can you. Dream big, take action to reach your goals. Are you pumped yet? It's showtime, let's rock and roll.
Welcome to the Dream Big Podcast Show. I am your host, Steva Cartman. And today, I like to start by telling you about a special gift we have for all you big dreamers. We created a super cool Dream Big journal that we want to ship to you. And get this, the front of the journal has an illustration of an astronaut in outer space. What is so amazing is that the journal is printed and personalized with your own face and name. So you'll see your face on the cover of this journal as an astronaut. Oh, and it's free. We just have you cover the shipping. Parents, please go to dreambigpodcast.com/journal to claim your free, personalized Dream Big journal while this offer is still available. You'll see a video of my mom and I showing our journals. Go to dreambigpodcast.com/journal to get your free journal. Now, it's time for you all to enjoy our discussion with Simon Sinek. Simon is an unshakable optimist, and my parents were so excited when Simon agreed to come on the Dream Big podcast, as they have been great admirers of his work for years. We discussed so much in this episode, from the importance of starting with why, a concept that Simon has popularized, to why being an optimist will help you achieve your big dreams. Without further ado, here's our interview with Simon Sinek. Let's roll the tape. Hi, Simon.
Hi, Eva. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Fine, thanks.
We're so excited to have you on our show, and we will be talking about very important subject.
Yeah, like finding purpose, leadership, and also building teams. And all of them you're an expert on. But can you tell us a little bit about some of the things you like to do as a kid and where'd you grow up?
Sure. So I was very lucky. I grew up all over the world. I was born in England, and then I moved to South Africa, and then I moved back to England, and then I moved to Hong Kong, and then I moved to New Jersey in the United States. And I did most of my growing up in New Jersey. I came here when I was 10 years old. When I was a kid, I was kind of a nerdy kid, so I liked sort of science fiction, and I went to space camp when I was in junior high school, which was really amazing because I wanted to be an astronaut.
Wow, that's fascinating.
Wow.
We recently interviewed Chris Hadfield, who went in space 3 times, right?
Yeah.
Well, Chris is a great guy.
Yes. We learned a lot from him, and he's actually showing YouTube videos. We will include all the links for our big dreamers in our show notes as well. But I'm curious, Simon, did the traveling and exposure to different cultures maybe created more curiosity for you, for your career in life? How did that affect what you do today?
I think one of the big takeaways was it made me comfortable to be uncomfortable. When we traveled, we went to very, very different cultures, from Europe to Africa, back to Europe, then to Asia, to these crazy different cultures. And I was just a little kid in all of it. And so I think it made me learn to be okay when I wasn't familiar with what was going on around me, or everybody spoke different languages. And I think to this day, one of the things that I think helps me as an adult is I don't mind getting into something difficult or unusual, or something I don't understand, because I'm okay being uncomfortable.
That's very interesting. So tell us strategy for our big dreamers. If you get it, first you get an idea of where you want to grow in life, the uncomfort zone, then do you have like that, what you say to yourself, or you kind of have a strategy how you're going to go about it?
Well, for me, dreams are something, and following our dreams is different than making a goal, right? And I think a lot of people confuse goals and dreams. So a goal is something that you can accomplish yourself if you set your mind to it. You can do it, even if they're big goals. But for me, the purpose of dreaming is imagining a different world, imagining what the world would look like. And the question is, how can I contribute to that world? So I'll give you a real example. I have a friend who used to be a performer on Broadway, and she was also a New York City Rockette. And when she was a little girl growing up in Fargo, North Dakota, she dreamed about making it to Broadway and becoming a New York City Rockette, which is kind of a big dream for a little girl from Fargo, North Dakota, right? And everything she did was with this dream in mind. She took dance classes and singing classes, and her parents drove her all over the place, far away from her home, so she could have the best teachers, so she could follow her dream. And once she made it, she made it. She actually made it. She became a New York City Rockette, and she actually made it as a performer in a Broadway show, multiple Broadway shows. And then something weird happened. She didn't know what to do next. She spent her whole life building up for this one thing that once she got there, she didn't know what to do. So for me, a dream is something that you will work your entire life, and you may never actually get there, but the excitement is feeling like you're getting closer and closer and closer. So I have a dream. I imagine a world in which people feel inspired when they wake up, that they feel safe amongst their friends and at work, and they come home with a deep sense of love and joy every day. Whatever they do, they come home feeling great. And so now the question is, what are my goals? What are the big things that I can do to help me build that world? Will that world ever really exist? Probably not. But I can feel like we're getting closer and closer as milestones are passed. So for me, I think dreams have to be even bigger than things that we can accomplish.
That's very interesting. And it's like Walt Disney said once, I don't know how I'm gonna get there, but I'm gonna take one step at a time, and I don't know about, I have a vision, but I don't know exactly what it is, but it has such a warm, fuzzy feeling that I want to go there. And a lot of times me and Eva, we would draw, for example, if we need to explain how the dreams and goals are kind of situated on the paper. I remember how I explained it to her. I would draw a sun that's far away, that you can touch. You have it, but you can look at it, but you can't touch.
Yeah.
And mountains around it, those can be obstacles, and the road. And the road has flags. Those are goals. So the road can be your mission, and that sun is your vision, is that big dream that you are going towards. And those flags on the road, little destinations, little goals that help you to go forward.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
I think that's a great point. And I think a good test is when people say, I have a dream, my dream is, and the question is it a dream that other people want to share with you? Like if you say, I have a dream to be on Broadway, well, that's good for you, and I don't think anybody wants to share in your dream because it's just you who wants to be on Broadway, right? But when you say, I have a dream of creating a world in which ... and other people go, oh my God, I want to do that too. And I think that's what that's what real vision is when other people want to share your dream, as opposed to a goal which is really just for you.
Yeah, and Simon, I know that your best-selling book and most watched video is on the topic Start with Why. And for those of our audience who are not familiar with your work, can you explain what starting with why means?
Sure. So every single one of us knows what we do. I'm a student. I'm a kid. It's like, what do I do? I go to school, or I have a company. I make whatever product, right? We all know what we do, right? And some of us know how we do it. These are the things that we think make us different or special. It's the things that make you stand out from your friends. It's your strengths. But very few people can really explain or articulate why they do what they do. And by why, I don't mean to make money or get good grades. Those are results. By why, I mean, what's your purpose? What's your cause? What's your belief? Why did you get out of bed this morning? And why, and why should anyone care? And what I learned is that the people who know their why, the people who can talk about their purpose, cause, or belief, the thing that inspires them, are not only more fulfilled and happier in their life, but they're more innovative. They are able to inspire the people around them. We trust them more. And so if all of these people who start with why have all of this unbalanced success and inspiration in the world, then I think we should all learn how to start with why.
Yeah, that is so interesting. And I just realized that my mom and me, when we started the Dream Big podcast, that we actually started with why when we created the Dream Big podcast. We just felt that there needed to be a show that inspires kids to dream big and a kid who's hosting the show. Yeah, so.
Yeah, and what you do is you have a podcast. How you do it is you bring guests on and you talk to them about these subjects. But why you do it is bigger than you. Why you do it is in service to other people. And this is why you get amazing people to come on your show. It's not just because you're a kid doing a podcast. It's because we believe what you believe. And we want to be a part of it too. You're inspiring. That's why we're here.
Yes, and that's what you mentioned earlier about leadership is why other people join in the podcast because they share the vision. So I would challenge our big dreamers to start questioning yourself more with why. Why am I doing it? Sometimes kids can complain about going to school and adults can complain about going to work. But I believe if we, as Simon, you said, find why are we doing it, maybe it's a stepstone, like just that flag on the road that's one of the goals to get further, then the whole journey will be easier.
Yeah.
Exactly. And to start paying attention to the stories or the characters that you really love. So maybe somebody loves Harry Potter. Maybe somebody loves Star Wars. So the question is which character do you love? Because we all love different characters. And the question is what do you love about that character? And it's the favorite movies and our favorite books and our favorite characters that start to reveal sort of what drives us and who we are and how we see ourselves. So that's one way you can start paying attention, because you'll find that all your favorite books and all your favorite movies and all your favorite stories and all your favorite characters actually have a common thread. They actually have a theme because you're drawn to people who are like you, how you see yourself.
And Simon, who's your favorite character? And what's your favorite movie?
So I have a couple. I'm a big Star Wars fan. And I really, 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 really like Han Solo and Boba Fett. One's a good guy, one's a bad guy. And the reason I like them is because they're super independent, and they're especially Han Solo. He's basically a good guy, and they're individual thinkers. They think for themselves, and I'm kind of drawn to that. I really like that. There's also plenty of people that I've met who I'm a sucker for people who sacrifice. For people who are willing to give up something of their own for other people. I'm a sucker for characters and people like that.
Yeah, my favorite character is Hermione Granger from Harry Potter. I like that she's smart and funny, and that she's really thinks about things, and
she's very curious. Yeah. She experiments, right?
Yeah.
She's not afraid to take step into an unknown.
And even though she's not completely a witch, she is the top of the class, top of the whole school. So, yeah.
It's interesting. So, Simon, when you find yourself in a difficult situation in life or a big question, do you ask yourself, what would this character do in this situation?
And why that character would do it?
That's a good question. When I find myself in those situations, the first thing I do is I call somebody who cares about me and who loves me. And I know that when things are really tough, I have to make sure that somebody believes in me, or somebody trusts me, or somebody's there for me. And then when I want to make a decision, there's a few mentors that I have, people who I really admire. And I will either think to myself, what would they do, or how would they deal with this? Or sometimes I even get to call them.
That's a very, very good point, and I would like to emphasize this for our big dreamers, that it's okay not to know something. Even people who achieved a lot of things in life, who are older than you, who've been in that field, for example, way longer, they still have questions. They still have difficult situations.
Yeah.
And it's important to find mentor, someone who walked that path, who already been there, and who supports and who loves you.
Yeah. So ask those questions, and also, what you should do is learn from them. Learn from other people's mistakes also.
Yes.
Learn
Yeah.
from their good things and learn from their bad things. Yeah.
Exactly.
So also, Simon, you describe yourself as an unshakable optimist. Can you share what it means to be an optimist and why you're an unshakable one? And also why it is important trait to develop even at a young age.
Well, I just believe that the future is bright, and I believe that people are good, and even when we struggle or things confuse us, I believe things tend to head towards the light. And the reason I think being an optimist is important is it allows you to see past difficult times. So if you do badly on a test or if you have a fight with a friend, it's not the end. It just means maybe we have to work harder, or maybe we have to call up our friend and say, I'm sorry. So I think that when things go bad, the ability to see that the future is bright helps us figure out a way through hard times.
Yeah, and Simon, I know that you work with a lot of major companies and help them create culture and foster teamwork. And if it's okay with you, I'd like to see if we can apply some of those principles to a typical situation our audience might experience in school. Let's say, for example, you get assigned to a group school project. You and 6 other people have to work together and create a presentation on climate change. And you and your team have to put together a 12-page written report, a poster board with visuals, and a 40-minute presentation to your classmates. So what are some tips you can give if you wanted to lead the group to get the highest grade in the class while having an amazing time with your friends?
So number one is understanding what leadership really is. Leadership doesn't mean that you're necessarily the boss. Leadership means that you take responsibility to see the people on your team are able to work at their natural best, that everybody gets to contribute the most they can possibly contribute. So to be the leader of the team means you're driven not to see that I win or I want to come in first. A lot of people sometimes get frustrated that other people are, quote unquote, ruining their chances, right? A leader says, okay, who really wants to work on this part? Who really wants to work on that part? Who's really excited about researching this? Who's really excited about writing? And we work to our strengths. And what the leader does is make sure that everybody is able to contribute the way that they want to contribute. And if they struggle, that we offer them help, or if they have ideas, that we listen to them. That doesn't mean we have to agree with their ideas, but we have to listen to their ideas. And that's what leaders really do. They make sure that everybody gets to contribute and work to their natural best. So if you want to be the leader of the team, it means that you will make sure that everybody in the team feels like they're contributing and enjoying themselves.
That's a very good point as for our younger big dreamers as well as for our a little bit more mature big dreamers, maybe
for sure
in the companies, and they have to motivate team, because we have to remember that we're working with humans, and there could be stuff happening, or sometimes they're at completely wrong place in their job. And our job as leaders to find out their strengths and maybe shift them in what they do. Because person that are not doing so well in one aspect can be wonderful and genius in totally different subject. So we have to pay closer attention, and I agree. It is a skill that we all should develop, and I think it should be a major subject in our schools, right, Eva?
Yeah.
How do you think it would change the school culture if you would have instead of something else, or maybe in addition to your school subject, just as a mandatory leadership class? What do you think you would do in that class?
I would. Oh, sorry, that was for Eva. Go ahead, Eva.
Yeah, let's hear what she thinks, and then Simon, we would like to hear your opinion.
Well, I think that in that class you would want to split up the tasks on unique talents and encourage your classmates when you do well. They do well.
So what are their skills would you want to develop in that class? Would it be
Leadership.
yeah, but what exactly? Is it like motivation? Or is it speaking in front of the crowd? Is it like
Getting out of your
understanding?
comfort zone and
Yeah,
like
maybe speaking skills,
yeah,
right?
speaking and lots of like
See if we have any top people listening to our podcast in the educational field. I think we should really think about it, right, and include it in schools as a main subject. What do you think, Simon?
Oh, I completely agree. One of the challenges that I think we have in the outside world is we don't teach leadership, and so we don't really have we need more good leaders. So I completely agree. We need to start teaching leadership at a young age and in schools, without a doubt, and what leadership really means.
Right, and so maybe you can give a few tips to our parents. What can they do at home to inspire kids to be great leaders?
So again, one of the big things about leadership is encouraging people to help each other, to look after each other. It's about taking care of those around us, right? And so here's one really, 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 really easy thing that people can do. So many people have cell phones now, especially a lot of kids. And the problem is when we pull our cell phones out, it makes other people think that we don't care about them when we're texting or talking to somebody who's not even there. So if we really, really love our friends, when we're with them, when they come over to play or something, we actually all agree to put our phones in a bowl and not touch them until we leave. Nothing makes people feel more loved than when we give them our full attention. So one of the ways in which we can all practice being a leader is we take the initiative. We say, "Hey guys, let's all put our phones away while we're hanging out together." And it's amazing the impact we have. And I think a lot of adults can really learn this lesson too.
I love it. I love it. I agree with
yeah,
that.
or like at dinner you can say, "Okay, everybody put the phones in the bowl and whoever touches their phone first has to pay for the bill."
There should never ever be a phone at a meal table, whether
Yeah,
it's with
so
friends or your
whoever
family. This goes for the adults too. There should never be a phone at a
Yeah, so whoever like touches their phone first has to pay
That's
for touching their phone.
We actually do have that rule in the house. No phones when we start our meal and after. It's like certain time. It's a family time.
Yeah.
So thank you, Simon, so much. We encourage our listeners, get your book, start with why, and we will include all the links in our show notes. We do have a few questions that Eva loved to wrap up interview with. They're called rapid fire questions, where we ask you quick questions and you answer them also quickly, and so we can get more sense and deeper understanding of other aspects of your life and who you are.
Okay, so Simon, who is your favorite author?
I like Viktor Frankl. He wrote Man's Search for Meaning.
Thank you.
What's next for you?
I'm writing another book, and I'm always looking to bigger audiences that I can go talk to share my ideas.
Do you have any daily routines?
No. No, same as everybody else. I brush my teeth. I have a shower.
Okay. What do you consider the greatest achievement of your life this far?
Well, I always think of my career as sort of being the tip of the iceberg. So even all the things that I've done, I know that there's so much more work to do to get to my vision. So everything's tip of the iceberg, but I'm very proud of how the concept of why has spread to so many people in all places in the world. And I'm really inspired by the fact that people talk about their why as individuals and as a company. That's really humbling.
Okay. What are the things you do for fun?
I love art. So I love going to museums. I love going to galleries. I like making art. I like music. So I really love, going to see dance performances. So I really love the art and the arts. Art and the arts.
How many kids do you have?
None.
Good.
I have a niece and a nephew that I love.
Awesome.
If you go back in time and talk to your 10-year-old self, what would be the best advice?
I would tell myself, you don't have to know all the answers. And if you don't, ask for help. You don't have to pretend that you do.
Okay. Big dreamers think about that. Just like use it in your life, because some of our big dreamers out there are like pretending that they know all the answers. So Simon, when you have doubted yourself in the past, what made you overcome like your fears and continue to go on with your dream?
Whenever I ran to a roadblock, it was always because somebody showed up and said, I got your back. When I tried to keep it to myself and pretend that everything was fine, I only struggled more. So when I had the courage to tell somebody I need help, and somebody was there for me, it always helped me overcome any obstacles.
Okay. And for our very last question, where can our audience find out more about you?
So I'm in all the usual places. My website is startwithwhy.com. And then we're on LinkedIn and Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and all the places.
Awesome. And I remember when I first met you, not on Skype, and before we started having conversation, my favorite TED Talk of all times about topics start with why, and I believe it's been viewed about 40 million times right now. So we will definitely include that in our show notes, together with all the links to where can our audience find you, and of course your amazing book, Start With Why. Thank you so much, Simon. We had so much fun.
Thank you.
So many
Thank you.
practical tips for our lives. So big dreamers, remember, start with why. Remember, you don't have to know it all. Remember, take one step at a time. Your vision should be greater than obviously your goals, and just keep going. Believe in your dreams and ask for help when you need to. And make sure to share this interview with someone who is interested in leadership and understanding deeper why we do things we do and how to inspire others to join your vision.
Yeah. Thank you, Simon.
Thanks, Eva. Thanks.
Bye.
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 Simon is a fascinating thinker, and I am very grateful that he took the time out of his busy schedule to be on our show. We highly recommend that you watch his TED Talks and check out his website. As always, all the links can be found in our show notes at dreambigpodcast.com/91. When you go to the show notes, you'll see a place to sign up for Insider Newsletter, where we send exclusive content, including a free audio that I made on my top 10 tips for making and keeping great friends. This audio is only available for those who subscribe, and I know this will really help you, so please be sure to have your parents join the newsletter to get it. There will also be a link to pick up your free Dream Big journal, which you should definitely get if you haven't already. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is Eva Cartman reminding you that you have unlimited potential. Your dreams are not optional, you need to make them essential. So take massive action to turn those big dreams into reality. Live with passion, the way life is meant to be. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye!